Was that also the first time you worked on something that was not your script? Jeffrey Boehm wrote the screenplay for The Dead Song.
Yeah, that's true. I had written my own scripts, and I thought that to be an auteur, which in French means author, the French New Wave critics like Truffaut and Godard developed a theory of the author theory of filmmaking, and I interpreted it to mean that you had to write your own screenplay, and that you therefore had to be a writer-director to truly be an auteur. Weirdly enough, that is not what the French critics meant. What they meant was they were talking about old Hollywood filmmakers like Howard Hawks and John Ford, and they were saying even though they didn't write their own screenplays and they were part of a very well-organized studio system, somehow their personalities as directors still came through their directing, through the way they made their films. And it was an attempt by the French really to redeem these sort of workmanlike craftsmen of Hollywood, and to show that they were true auteurs in their own way, that their voices, their cinematic voices were still very strong, despite the fact that they were embedded in this very sort of rigorous studio system. So I thought that you had to, anyway, there I was thinking you had to write your own stuff. And frankly, nobody really wanted me as a director because I had only done some underground films, Stereo and Crimes of the Future, and a couple of shorts. But what they did want was my screenplay for Shivers, which was a kind of a unique horror film that nobody had ever seen anything quite like that before. You'll probably notice that the film Alien took a lot of things from my film Shivers, and that it is well known that Dan O'Bannon, who co-wrote Alien, knew my films very well, and some of it, it's the way it works. I mean, if your film is influential, it means people copy elements of it, and that's the way it goes. But they wanted my script. They didn't want me as director. I said, if you want my script, you have to take me as director. And eventually, a company in Montreal called Cinepix did end up producing my first couple of films. It was really at that time in Canada, there was no film industry. There were documentary films, there was TV, but there was really no film industry. People were not making feature films at all. So I had to really invent myself as a Canadian feature filmmaker. And since my first film was definitely a horror film, there was no tradition whatsoever of horror filmmaking in Canada. In fact, there was not a tradition of genre filmmaking. There were no thrillers, there were no detective movies, there were no action movies. It was all basically documentary stuff, like what life was on the prairies, or what it was like for the fishermen in the Maritimes and so on, kind of docudramas. That was really Canadian filmmaking. So my first film caused quite a lot of, it was quite a controversy, and even went to the Canadian Parliament where people were debating whether the government should invest in disgusting films like my film. And the answer ended up being yes, because it was the only film for years that actually made any money for the Canadian government for their investment. So I ended up able to make Rabid as well. And in fact, the Canadian government has invested in almost every film that I've made, including Maps to the Stars, which was set in Hollywood, but still was mostly shot in Toronto with Canadian talent and so on. So government support has been very, very important to my filmmaking. As it is, I think, in most countries in the world except for the US, because it's all anti-Hollywood. Not against Hollywood, but it's counter-Hollywood. It's non-Hollywood filmmaking. Basically Canadian filmmaking is what you would call independent filmmaking.